Hey kids, you trying to get into Segment City? Well, you really shouldn't, because Segment City is a mature podcast, and listener discretion is advised. I'm just trying to look at... I know I'm in an alleyway. I know how I look, but I got some fireworks for you kids. I got snakes and I got sparklers. That's all I got. Oh, don't give me that.
They boomed me, Will. They freaking boomed me.
They
boomed me. It's well documented on this podcast that I enjoy spicy foods. This is known. All right. So my girlfriend and I were looking for a quick after work dinner the other day. We were like, let's go over to Dave's Hot Chicken. Dave's Hot Chicken, premier fried chicken joint. Good Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. And I think I've talked about on this podcast that I went there one time and I ate their spiciest level of sandwich called the Reaper. Mm-hmm. And they make you sign a thing saying like, if I die, I won't sue you. If I keel over in your restaurant, you're not liable, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Like, I can't believe the production value. They make you sign a thing. It was no big deal. So this time I went in all cocky. I was like, I've done it once. It's not that big a deal.
Big Pants Theo Sapacos
Big Pants Theo comes in, and I think they might have given me the wrong sandwich last time because this new one blew my fucking mind. I was not having a good time. I was having a bad time on this chicken sandwich. I got 2 bites in and I was literally sitting in a Dave's Hot Chicken. Tears were streaming down my face. Actual tears were coming down my face.
Actual tears running down his face. I talked to Theo and he said to me, I love spicy food, delicious food.
This is one of the best sandwiches I've ever seen.
Tears coming down his face. He said, "Can you hand me a napkin?"
It was horrible. It was terrible. It was. I don't know if they switched up the recipe, but this one was dry.
It was the same ghost pepper, right?
Yes, I mean it was the Reaper level sandwich, whatever. Same exact level
the
of
highest
sandwich.
level. Yeah.
This one had way more powder dusted on it, and it was like. It just immediately nuked me to a point where the back of my throat felt so hot that I had to continuously be drinking water or else my tears would start. I had to I was filling one cup with water at the soda fountain while drinking another cup of water, and then I would swap them.
I thought you were going to say it was so dry in the back of your throat that it was like trying to have a fire hose to quench the Sahara Desert.
No, it was pure burn, and it's this oil. It's like oil. It's like hot oil,
yeah.
And so it just like
the
water.
Dry rub really gets. I think it's something different. Like dry rubs fuck me up.
Yeah,
compared to wet sauces.
And then when I got home, so I ate all of the sandwich except for the last probably like one big bite would have been one more sandwich. Would have been finishing the sandwich. But I was looking at that one bite and I was like, I had to tap out. I couldn't do it.
And let's be clear for the sandwiches that they have at Dave's Hot Chicken, because I've only been once, and I got like the medium levels, which were pretty good.
Yeah.
They offer combos, which is basically a bunch of different variations of you are going to get two pieces of chicken that are the size of a baby's arm.
Yeah, they're huge.
Like
they're
individually.
Huge. And they call them sliders.
They call them sliders because they put them on slider buns. And so imagine, everybody, the size of like a tree branch almost. Like a huge,
sticking out of the side of this tiny bun.
It's comical. Like it is comical, whatever. Because I got it and I was like, okay, this is literally just so you don't get your hands.
Right. That's the purpose of it. Yes, exactly. It is like oven mitts for your hand. Yeah.
And you get a little bread at the end. But
so I got home. I got home from this sandwich, and during the car ride, I was feeling all right. And then I sat down on my couch, and for the next 3.5 hours, through when I went to bed, my stomach was just waves of burning pain.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
Like my whole stomach was just on fire for like several hours. Ooh. And in that moment, I was thinking of you because you had told me that you went to Nashville and that you ate a chicken sandwich and that your gut got fucked up from that point forward. And I was like, have I just done this to myself? I've just shot myself in the gut for no good reason for on a Tuesday night. Is this what I'm doing?
I will clarify though that because my hot chicken thing in Nashville was I went to Nashville sick. And then that was when I thought I was on the upturn. I was like, I'm in Nashville. I have to have a hot chicken. That's the only thing I want to have here. Had it fucked me up. Because it was like, hey, you thought this was done? It ain't done. And you just sent a nuke in. Not good.
Right. They were your stomach was just recovering and you carpet bombed it.
It was fully on me. I could not blame anyone else.
So I was in that moment. I was really worried in that moment that I was like, what if I was having that old man moment where I was like, what if my body never recovers from this?
That's something we have to start thinking about now that we're almost 30. We're like, ooh, there's some aches that ain't going away.
So that's
not good.
I gotta be a little more cautious with these spicy foods. I gotta reel back a little bit. I like a good spice, but maybe I shouldn't reach for the Reaper on a whim.
Yeah, I think there's my stomach also, because I started experimenting with a bunch of stuff and I've cut a lot down, especially caffeine. I wasn't a big caffeine drinker for most of my life, and now I'm like, zero. I got to a point where I was like, oh yeah, coffee is gonna make my life better, because that's the thing with caffeine that I think people who drink it a lot don't really realize is how addictive, and it's the idea of I need this to be productive and efficient that then fucks you up, because then my stomach is like, hey, so you're gonna be pissing and shitting for the next day while you have all this caffeine in you, and I'm like, ouch, no. But I gotta say, I do feel bad for you because I do know how you feel. But as my girlfriend was saying, she was just staring me before the fall.
She was staring me straight in my crying eyes and said to me, "I have no sympathy for you. You brought this on yourself."
You stared at the chicken and you said, "You ain't no shit." And then it said, "I is shit."
I actually am. Yeah.
And then destroyed you. So that's you know what? But that's wild.
So having eaten 2 Reaper level sandwiches, 1 round went to me, 1 round went to the sandwich. And I think that's where the fight ends.
That's still a good win percentage. Yeah, that's not, I'm gonna say, not bad to even survive that many. Cause I would take a bite and then I'd be like, I'm dead for the rest of my life. I'm actually dead. I actually killed myself. I'm dead. Before we get into the podcast proper, I had a story that I got brought up when Theo and I were talking before, and I was like, this is podcast worthy. So let me just briefly go over it, because we had a hiatus, if you hadn't noticed, over the holiday season. And this was a holiday story where I went to a Yankee swap at Annie's cousin's place, because both of our families got COVID. So it was that got nuked.
Not great.
And so their Yankee swaps, my family's Yankee swap, I've always considered to be kind of the bare minimum. It's basically you go up, unwrap a thing, you either swap with somebody who came before, or you keep the thing and then you keep going.
Wait, you
and
unwrap?
Then number one comes back and can pick any of them.
Wait, so your Yankee swap is you unwrap and then you get the option to swap?
Yeah, with somebody who's come before. If they had a gift that
we always played it that on your turn, you could either choose to unwrap, or you could take something that had already been unwrapped. So you could either gamble, or you could take for sure something you wanted. And then the person who got stolen could either then subsequently steal again or unwrap. And it just kept going.
This is also part of the story of, I didn't realize how variable Yankee swaps could be.
Yeah, apparently there's different rules, house rules.
Because their family was a little bit similar to mine's in terms of swapping, but they say, we're going to set a timer for a minute. The person who got their thing can swap, and then that person can swap with another person until the minute's and then keep going. You can only
swap within the minute?
Yeah. And so, but it's only one person has to ball.
That's one of those rules where that some Uncle Larry took 4 hours to make up his mind, and they're like, we're instituting a shot clock. This is the end of the 80s for basketball. We're over. Shot clock era has begun.
But the problem is it got into a rotation of 3 people where there's 1 or 2 gifts that people actually wanted, and then a shit gift that they kept on passing for the entire minute, and that was every fucking round. So I was like, this is a nightmare. I didn't like that part. And so I was like, and we went to another one where...
The mistake was having a
Yankee
good
swap.
gift in the Yankee swap at all. You should only ever have shit gifts in the Yankee swap. That's the whole point.
Now, that's actually a perfect segue into the main thrust of the story. They were in one of those rotations. I got like cheese knives and some chocolate. I'm like, this is as good as I'm going to get.
That's great.
Happy with that. One of the gifts that was in the swap was a big bag of IKEA meatballs, frozen meatballs.
All right.
And then another big bag of vegetable or like non-meat veggie balls. That in what... I can't describe how insane that is as a present baseline, especially given the context that the majority of the people were not local and would have to get onto a plane.
Like, and they were fighting over this.
They were fighting to get rid of it. Nobody wanted
to get rid of it. Yeah. Okay.
So they're passing it around. Now, in comes Annie, trying to be
the saint,
the guardian angel,
trying to descend
and also
from
being
the heavens.
Stressed out by the I think
Peacemaker.
Discord.
Yes.
Peacemaker goes, I'll take the meatballs. I shout in the moment, what are you doing? What do you want? Like, what do you want? You want the meatballs? No, we're not taking the meatballs, even though we're local and like would maybe eat them. I'm like, we're not getting meatballs. There's no way.
Well,
and the person who ended up with the meatballs, because we did not end up with the meatballs,
okay,
was the person who gave the meatballs, or I think his spouse, because it was Annie's uncle, who in the most Bostonian accent, like, because he has like a weird New York Boston accent, he went, I thought it was going to be a great gift. I thought it was going to do really well. Like,
oh no!
You could not read the room if you tried. He's also the type of guy that cannot read a room if he tried. Like, he is just like that kind of dude.
Just a bag of IKEA meatballs.
And he was like, I thought this was going to go gangbusters. Like, I thought it was going to be amazing. Like, I was like, absolutely not, dude. What are you talking about? But anyway.
The worst, I have to say, I have experienced being in a Yankee swap where I was the most excited about the gift I had put in. It's not a fun feeling.
No, it's
I once brought to a Yankee swap a piñata full of candy, and nobody else was as excited about it as me. And I wrapped it up. It's like the classic donkey shape. It's a great one. It's the classic donkey shape, and I wrapped it so that it just was in the donkey shape. So someone unwrapped it, and it was just the exact same shape.
Yeah. They're like, I thought this was a trick. It's not a trick.
It's not a trick. It's an actual piñata.
Yankee swaps are weird because I mean, I've regifted things that have gone over very well and very badly. Yankee swaps are tough.
They're tough.
But that is not the crux of it. That is not the subject of our podcast. No, Theo, this is Segment City, in which Theo and I... Oh, we didn't introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Will Kane, and I'm the frozen meatballs of your friend group. Nobody wants me around.
And I'm Theo Sopaklis, and I'm full of loose M&Ms. Don't beat me up.
And this is a podcast in which Theo and I present segments each week. Some are new, some are reoccurring, but we dumpster dive our way through the internet and we get all those good comedy morsels for you, package them up into segments. And normally we start with a Will Stupid Thought, but I'm going to try out a new segment. And I'm going to
trying something here. You know, we're trying out introducing ourselves 13 minutes into the podcast. That's a bold one. That's nice.
We told a lot of stories.
Yeah,
we told a lot of stories. But Theo, I presume that you don't spend a lot of time on Instagram.
I don't know.
You are not a big Instagram guy. I am not a big Instagram guy either, but I did find an Instagram account that I enjoyed, and it is a visual thing, hence why it's Instagram. So we'll see if this segment goes over well.
All right, we're trying something here. Stick with us.
The title of this account is Mug Shouties.
Mug Shouties.
Mug Shouties. And the purpose of this Instagram account is to post mugshots of majority women, like all women basically, who are attractive.
Okay.
Is the main thing. Of course, it's not about their attractiveness though for this segment. I want to highlight...
Is it about the crimes? I want to hear the
It's
crimes.
about the crimes. It's about the crimes.
It's all about the crimes.
We will be probably mentioning how these women look, of course, and I don't think we'll be like judging them based on their looks, but it's going to come up. But also, I want the purpose of the segment is how looks can be deceiving. How the people that you think are, this person is goes by the law and is, this attractive woman must be an angel. No, a lot of these people are not. And this is, there's a ton of these. I picked out a couple and we'll just do a few. These ones are all smiling. That's the benchmark.
They're smiling
I used for
in a mugshot?
And that's why I chose them. So basically, I'm going to send you the picture. We'll describe them, and then you get to guess what their crime is.
All right. I get to guess. It's name that crime. It's like name that tune.
Yeah, we're starting off simple. This girl, I think, has a very simple, basic look to her, but she has a very mysterious Mona Lisa smile.
Is she wearing a Pornhub lanyard?
I didn't even notice that.
Did you not notice that? Because that's right there. That's at the front of the...
Okay, I'm going to say that has nothing to do with her crime.
It would have been way more entertaining if it did have something to do with her crime. That is hilarious. That's just her, that's her out and about around town look.
This is even funnier because that is the first comment. Because I middle clicked it to get it on a different tab, so it actually had the comments on it. Yeah. That's the first comment. Anyway, so what do you think? So this girl, she has very basic parted hair. She has kind of fuller lips that maybe she had worked on.
She has sort of an evil smile though. If you,
it's
a little menacing.
A little bit down. She has a Mona Lisa a little bit of smirking, but you're like, ugh. There's a little bit of malice there.
There's a little bit of malice.
Blue tank top.
I think she took somebody's car. She drove away in somebody's car.
Very close.
Really?
Malicious mischief to a vehicle. Vandalizing her ex's car for cheating.
So it had to do with a car.
Yeah. So I'll give you a good half point. Even though the
Why the lanyard?
Why the
I can't get over it.
This girl has a stunning smile. I love her smile.
This girl looks like she is having the time of her life. She's on spring break and she's at the beach and having a good time. Smiling
Theo,
up.
What is the watermark on this image?
Recentlybooked.com.
Website you and I will probably visit at some point. But she is beaming. She's really eyes crinkled up. She's smiling. Her head's cocked. She has blonde hair, kind of like a 90s bangs, kind of like loose bangs.
I think drunk and disorderly. Because how can you be this jazzed about having a mugshot taken of you and be sober?
I have to say, this is the most successful you've been at any of our segments so far. That is 100 disorderly conduct.
Let's go.
She got disorderly conduct, so she has a reason for being happy. I think that is one of those smiles.
Because I'm just looking at this and I'm like, how in your right mind are you this jazzed about being in a police station?
This is another person very jazzed about big smile on her face.
She's excited, but there's a sadness behind those eyes.
Yeah, a little bit. She's a girl that I think she looks like she was came from clubbing. Has basic brown hair, brown eyes.
She's got a little heart drawn on her cheek, maybe tattooed. I would think. Yeah,
it's right below her eye. It's a little beauty marky thing, and what looks like a gray zip up hoodie. And she's once again biggest smile you could imagine.
Shoplifter. This woman's a shoplifter.
No, although those are featured a lot on this. This one also makes sense. Possession of marijuana.
Okay, so she's having a good time. It doesn't matter what's going on. She's having a good time. She's having a good old time.
She's fucking baked. And then last but not least, we're going to go over one last one. This is also a smile on her face.
She's excited. She's happy to be here.
She looks like... I don't know if she has a mole on the side of her eye or she has one of those gemstones.
I'm going to say she was fighting somebody.
She has a lot, actually. Attempted carjacking, attempted robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit crime, threatened crime with intent to terrorize, and fleeing police while driving recklessly.
Something's wrong with this woman.
This young woman, she looks like she's our age. She's maybe 25. She has kind of messy dark hair. She looks like a normal, she looks like somebody you would go to class.
I mean, all of these people look like normal people that you'd see on the street. And none of them are,
But this lady's like fucking doing Grand Theft Auto. Like literally she's doing Grand Theft Auto. But
Wild.
anyway, that is Mug Shouties. Hopefully people enjoyed that. I hope
I'm
you
excited about
enjoyed
how good I was at this segment. Bring it back if only for that.
that. Yeah, just for how good you are. But let's move on to your next segment, which hopefully isn't as criminal.
Okay, so my first segment is from the takeout.com, and some would argue that
Criminal.
they finally put a criminal away for life. The title of this article is R.I.P. Fruit Stripe Gum.
Fruit Stripe gum. Oh, is Fruit Stripe, is that a brand of gum or is that a type of gum?
Yeah, it's a brand of gum. Isn't it the one with it's just like, you know that, so I mean the classic is the fact that it was like dry as chalk and the fruit flavor lasted for like 2 seconds before it turned to ash in your mouth.
Yeah, it's like finding gum from the 50s in a tin can and then chewing into that.
So, article goes, if you ever slapped a spit moistened chewing gum wrapper on your arm waiting for a temporary tattoo to take form there, did you even experience childhood? For many of us, Fruit Stripe Gum was a fixture of our youth, the brand whose bright colors, zebra mascot, wrappers printed with temporary tattoos, and unfulfilled promise of 5 fruity flavors kept us coming back again and again, even though none of us really loved the taste of this stuff. And I can personally attest to this because probably once a year, I would go down to my local, like convenience store and buy. I would be there buying candy all the time, but every once in a while, that little zebra would be looking at me. I'd be like, you know what? I'll give him another shot. You know what?
You go, how temporary are these tattoos?
How
am I going to be able to react this on the playground for the entire week? Or,
it felt like pure value because juicy fruit, you could get
listen, you got pure value here.
Pure value.
Fruit stripe. We only got one stripe. We don't extend the flavor farther than we need to. We get the maximum money worth.
You know how many stripes we can fit in this bad boy? Slap in the side. Because juicy fruit, you could get like 10 sticks for $1 or something like that when I was a kid. And fruit stripe gum was like, for $1, you could get like 40 of these bad boys. They were coming packing in these things in this giant pack, and you'd be pulling one out for days. The problem is the flavor only lasted for like a second, and then it was gone.
That's the big problem with it. Is it better than Hubba Bubba? Because Hubba Bubba is kind of on that. You love Hubba. Hubba Bubba is like classic bubblegum, but it does have that chalky kind of.
Wait, are you talking about the one that's circular and it came in sort of? That's double. That's double bubble.
Oh, that's double bubble. And
double bubble. Hubba Bubba was like the They made the spiralized 6 foot long one. That was Hubba Bubba.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like this is getting into like Grandpa Corner. Where we're not really.
we're just. Yeah, no, I'm right. Hubba Bubba made the big fat squares, like the watermelon flavored, that have like the different colored outside and inside. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah,
green outside. That's Hubba Bubba. Double Bubble was like the one you would find in the bottom of your Halloween bag 3 months later, and it was like a rock
hard,
and you could not get. That's Double Bubble. Yeah,
that sucks. That one you could get a fucking like pallet of that stuff, and they're like 10 cents, please. That was just terrible.
That falls under World War II candy. Yeah,
World War II candy.
So here's a quote from the proprietors of Fruit Stripe. We have made the difficult decision to sunset Fruit Stripe gum, but consumers may still be able to find product at select retailers nationwide. The decision to sunset this product was not taken lightly, and we considered many factors before coming to this decision, including consumers' preferences and purchasing patterns. Yeah, did you? The fact that nobody was buying your stupid gum for years?
Yeah, that is a PR person's way to say, we ain't sold shit in the last 10 years. Also, I love the idea. I've never heard them say, we're discontinuing this. You might still see it around.
I think
this is more based off of the fact that they cannot get rid of this gum and it lasts forever. Like it's just going to be cobwebs.
They don't have the money to receive calls being like, "Your setter was out of business, but I still see it right here." They're like, "Please don't call us."
Don't call us. We have shuttered the doors. If you get our nasty gum, we're not even going to say sorry.
We're not going to say sorry. Fruit Stripe was introduced in the 1960s by the Beech Nut Company, which is hilarious, which now primarily produces baby and toddler food.
I was more. Wait, was that from the article? Or was that you saying that? Which is hilarious.
No, that was me saying that.
Okay.
That's not in the article.
Which, just the way you said, you're like, which is hilarious. Of course.
The gum came in 5 flavors: Wet and Wild Melon.
That's yuck.
Wet and Wild, gross. And then the other ones are just called cherry, lemon, orange, and peach.
What?
They only went Wet and Wild with the melon.
Why is that the Raphael of the TNT group? Like, why is this the cool?
Why
dude
is it
with
so
attitude?
extra? The Ferrero website describes the product as, quote, brightly flavored gum that's forever fruity, unquote, which is the opposite. It's the opposite of that.
Ironic, very ironic, actually, that you say that.
Well, farewell to a classic. It's one of those that I will probably never. It's going to be one of those ones where I'm telling my grandkids, I'm like, there used to be this gum called Zebra, and it was totally awful. And they'll be like, okay, Granddad.
I had forgotten about it completely, and I will forget about it.
Yes,
again.
as soon as this episode is over, you'll forget about it.
Absolutely. But I love this idea that you are just going to be on your deathbed being like, let me think about all the different gums I had. What delicious gums.
No, because eventually we will be in a retirement home together and we'll be ranking candies. And I'll be like, remember, Fruit Stripe, it's terrible, F tier. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We could do an entire segment of what will Will and Theo be doing in the retirement home, because absolutely creating tier lists, but physical, like we're going to print things out and be like slapping it. We're going to have an audience of 2 people, which is probably going to be
one will be asleep.
Yeah, and one of them is probably going to be one of our significant others.
They will be one will be asleep, and the other one will like be watching Price is Right or something.
Yeah, not even paying attention while we're like, you see, juicy fruit, pretty high tier actually. If you think about how much the flavor stays.
I used to be able to get this for $1.
I'd buy that for $1 myself.
But you know what? I hope costs $1. Your next segment.
Hi, everyone. Will from the editing bay here, aka my home office. I wanted to come in and clear up something that may be confusing for people, because this upcoming segment we refer to as a part 2 of a conspiracy query about the Bermuda Triangle. The problem with this is that part 1 has not come out yet. So I wanted to come in and say, if you don't remember a part 1, you're not crazy. It has not come out yet. TLDR of what happened with that is Theo has it edited on a laptop that he, for the moment, doesn't have access to. So the episode's still going to come out later. I just wanted to clear up that part 1 isn't out yet, but part 2 you can still enjoy. And so I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. I mean, technically, this area of the Caribbean has cost more than $1. We're going back, baby. Last week, we went over the Bermuda Triangle. And we talked about the history of the Bermuda Triangle and some of the conspiracies therein. Mm-hmm. But the things that we went over last time were more just like different stories about the Bermuda Triangle. This is about what is the Bermuda Triangle? What is causing this phenomenon? This is Conspiracy Query, where I will be asking Theo, or I will be listing conspiracies for Theo, one of which I came up with. And this is Bermuda Triangle. What's causing it?
What's causing it?
For this one, I did break it up a little bit more. I broke it into 2 parts. One, we're gonna start out with, which is the natural phenomena.
Okay.
I'm going to say stuff that is geologically in the most logical of these conspiracy theories, of which there is one that I made up, and then we'll go on to some later ones.
The supernatural.
These are very short hints that I will be giving. What causes the Bermuda Triangle phenomenon? Like, what causes ships to sink?
Okay.
Quote unquote, sink more than in other areas of the
science
ocean,
is still out on that.
As we've already established, it does not have a higher incidence rate. It's a very weird thing because I've heard people say it does not have a higher incidence of like seafaring accidents than other places, and then in the same breath say there's more accidents here.
Well, it's like
I don't know what that means.
That's probably because there, like you said last time, it's a very highly trafficked route, an area, right?
Yeah.
So you can have statistically the same number per percentage wise. Like, you know, like it's like say
notable,
like 1% of all ships like sink or something like that. Well, like we just have this area just has way higher volume, and so there are more sinking ships, but per percentage, it's not actually more.
It's just it's a statistic that's thrown around a lot, and then I don't think people actually like read it, or they just like push it away. Like believers just say, whatever.
Are you saying that Yeti hunters don't listen to stats about Yetis? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they. Listen, there's a lot of Yeti hunters and Bigfoot hunters that are looking for those stats.
Stats driven. They're gonna moneyball Yeti hunting.
Yeah. Listen, if we get a bunch of low-level, low-paid Yeti hunters, then we could like spread out more. We can cover the forest.
That's right.
Better.
Right.
And then it'll have better results. But anyway, number 1, rogue waves. Mm-hmm. Rogue waves are causing things to... There's a high incidence of rogue waves. Number 2, there's more hidden rocks, reefs, and shores.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can believe that.
Number 3, magnetic forces.
Magnetic forces, all right.
That is... I could get more specific, but I feel like if I get more specific, that it gets suspect and weird. Number 4, methane gas bubbles.
From the ocean. Okay.
From the ocean. And number 5 is water spouts, which is basically a term for water tornadoes. So which
I
of
believe
those
water
5?
spouts. I believe corals and reefs. I am dubious about methane gas because there's not that many cows out in the Bermuda Triangle. I'll say magnets. Give me magnets.
You're going magnetic forces, and Theo, you would be incorrect.
Magnets. See, magnets is never the right answer because it's so obviously a conspiracy theory thing that somebody must have posed it, not you.
Listen, there is...
It's because the people that are conspiracy theorists are kind of dumb, and they're like, they don't really understand how magnets work.
I was gonna make that exact same statement, but in a jokier way. So yeah, no, absolutely. They aren't big on magnets because they don't understand magnets. So the one that was fake was the hidden rocks, reefs, and shores. This was hard to. Yeah, this was hard. Nobody's said anything about the because, like, in my mind, I imagine that it's like you think that there's more water, but then you just ram into a reef or something. But there's been no like. I don't think it has a higher concentration necessarily, or there's more like islands around. So maybe
what would be great is if there's more shipwrecks because there are so many shipwrecks. People keep running into shipwrecks, and so it's causing more shipwrecks.
Well, okay, so let's just get right into these rogue waves. I'm going to say rogue waves are very similar to giant squids, which I also included, but that is also
what
is
a
conspiracy.
Mean?
People didn't think giant squids existed for a very long time, similar to rogue waves. But rogue waves, they've actually caught them on because like the whole problem is nobody caught them on like recording equipment. And then people kind of posited afterwards of like, well, maybe the things that did, like the ships that do get hit by rogue waves don't come back. Like they just get sunk. So they don't come back with recordings of rogue waves, which also people posited for giant squids of like there are giant squids and they take out ships, but that's why you don't hear about them is because they take out the ships.
Giant squids aren't actually aggressive, right? Like they exist.
Oh, we don't know anything about although there is another same exact like idea for whales, because whalers thought that whales were completely peaceful, but then whaling ships, like there's a very what the Moby Dick is based off of is it's a real story where a ship got sunk by a whale, and they think that that's a similar thing of ships would get sunk by whales, but nobody would report it because they got sunk, like everybody would be dead.
Yeah, right.
So that's kind of rogue waves. Rogue waves are just basically like 100-foot high giant waves that just show up and nobody knows what caused them. Is the TLDR.
Crazy.
Magnetic forces, what you thought was fake. The Bermuda Triangle is one of 2 places on Earth where a compass will point to true north instead of magnetic north.
Is that true?
That is true.
What?
While true north is the fixed point where lines of longitude converge on a map, magnetic north is constantly shifting. It's the point on Earth's surface where its magnetic field points directly downward. The difference between the two is called declination. And all trained ships and airplane pilots know how to account for it while charting their course. So the conspiracy theory that compass malfunctions are behind the triangle's grisly history is easily debunked. First of all, it assumes that many experienced pilots were simply unaware of magnetic declination. Sorry, I keep messing up this word. Second, it can't explain the many, many boats and planes that pass through the area without incident. That is like another part of the conspiracy theory that always breaks down. I do think that this is maybe how Flight 19, which is one of the examples that I gave, probably messed up. Is I think they got lost.
Because they were lost, yeah.
I think they just got lost. Methane gas bubbles. In 2016, a group of researchers from the Arctic Institute of Norway announced that they had discovered massive half-mile craters at the bottom of the Barents Sea off the coast of Norway. The craters, they hypothesized, were caused by sudden explosions of deep underwater deposits of methane. Lots of conspiracy theorists glommed onto the idea, arguing the phenomenon might be responsible for shipwrecks in the Bermuda Triangle. However, just a few months later, the researchers themselves burst that bubble, as it were. Quote, "We are not making any links to the Bermuda Triangle," they said in a 2016 statement, probably to a bunch of very eager conspiracy theorists. And they're like, please stop. Published
Those
by
damn underwater sea cows are at it again.
But this is published by the Center of Arctic Gas, Hydrate, Environment, and Climate, a coalition of scientists that investigate Arctic marine geology. So that it was brought up and then immediately was discounted, which is funny. And then waterspouts is basically according to NASA, waterspouts are spinning columns of moist air that form over warm water, akin to a tornado in the ocean.
Like mini tornadoes, yeah.
Yeah. Waterspouts can feature winds up to 125 miles per hour.
Sheesh.
So it is, and obviously that could cause problems. Now let's get into the wilder ones.
All right. Yeah, buckle up.
Number one, we got aliens.
It's aliens.
It's aliens. Classic. You know them. You love them.
They love that Bermuda Triangle. They're all about triangular shapes. We know this about aliens.
Oh, absolutely.
All aliens look like a Dorito chip. This is known.
Okay, hold on. No, they don't. That is the Dover Devil. I think.
Aliens can look like whatever I want them to look like. Will space is infinite.
No, this is because there's an actual cryptid that looks like a Dorito chip that's like from Massachusetts.
Is it? Wait. From Massachusetts, an actual cryptid?
Yeah,
tell me about this beautiful mascot of mine.
1 second,
I gotta
missing
find.
In my life. Now I'm getting mad because now I gotta look this up because my
what are you searching?
License.
What are you looking up? You're looking up Massachusetts Dorito cryptid? Is that your Google search right now?
No. I mean, I could just look at my wall mounting of.
All right, he's getting up from his chair. This deserves a get up from the chair moment.
Okay, no, actually, it's the Flatwoods Monster is what I was thinking of. It's not local; it's from the south. Let me get a. Apparently, it's in Fallout 76.
Oh,
what the fuck? But this mofo looks like a Dorito chip.
Can't believe somebody already beat me to the punch with a Dorito-shaped monster.
Please. I want to hear your reaction to the flat.
Oh yeah, look at this. His head looks like, well, it kind of looks like a garlic bulb. He's got a garlic bulb, but then he's wearing like a skirt, like some sort of like long like dress from the waist down.
This is the quote unquote real image.
Oh my Oh my god! Stop. This guy has bug eyes.
This is spooky. It's spooky. Anyway, that's the point of this segment is the Flatwoods Monster. Although maybe we'll do a future segment. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, a lot of the information or a lot of the things I'm quoting from for these conspiracy theories is from an article on popularmechanics.com. Because you would not believe the fucking URLs of the websites that this Google search took me to. Including boaterexam.com.
Boater exam?
boater exam, educating boaters online. And they have a fucking thing about Bermuda Triangle. It's amazing. Anyway, so number 1, aliens. Number 2, wormhole / time vortex. It's it's like time and space.
Okay.
Like people go into a portal. A curse on Caribbean slavers.
Okay.
Atlantis.
It's always Atlantis. It's always freaking Aquaman up to something.
It's
Ocean Master. He's up to something again.
Hey, Theo, can I actually ask you to call me by my preferred name?
Yeah, what's that, Will?
Ocean Master.
Ocean Master.
Call me Ocean Master. And number 5, it's a highway to hell. It's a portal to hell.
It's Portal to Hell.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, my gut is telling me the curse on the slavers.
Curse of the
slavers.
Caribbean slavers. And
Yeah.
you would be correct, Theo.
Let's
That is the
go.
one I came up with.
This might be the first time I've ever scored in this game.
You have absolutely scored in this game. Because I remember the conspiracy theories. It is a hard game, though. And that's why I broke it up a little bit more. Because at 10, there's no way you would be able to get the right one. But aliens, I mean, I'm cut and try. Aliens come, they abduct people.
Something.
That's why you can't find them anymore. Number 2, wormhole / time vortex. A pilot by the name of Bruce Gernon says that it is. I didn't believe in time travel or teleportation until it happened to me, Gernon says. The pilot alleged that, quote, a fog surrounded my craft and I leapt ahead 100 miles. Don't believe it? Luckily, Gernon, quote, documented what happened and memorized every detail of the flight. Which, you know, I always do on every flight I do.
You know, a scientific eyewitness accounting. Yes, very good.
Yeah. And he put this all in a book, in 2017 book called Beyond the Bermuda Triangle, True Encounters with Electronic Fog, Missing Aircraft, and Time Warps.
Whoa.
So this is basically like people will say, oh, I've only been flying for what feels like 20 minutes, but I'm now like way far, like further than I could have gotten. Stuff like that people have reported. Atlantis. It was Charles Berlitz himself, author of the Bermuda Triangle in 1974, which kind of like cemented it. They had been talking about it like 10 years. It had come up 10 years before, but this is like the thing that really cemented it. And it sold 14 million copies. But it was Charles Berlitz himself who forwarded the idea of the lost city of Atlantis was somehow responsible for the shipwrecks and the plane crashes of the Bermuda Triangle. That's about it. That's all
That's all we got. All right.
Like that they use crystal energies. People like will use, they'll say that it was like Aristotle or somebody said, like referenced Atlantis as like a naval power and that they had good technology. And I'm like, no.
Based on what? Based on what, Aristotle?
I always love when people go back to the old thinkers and then you have to be like, you know that they didn't know like anything, right? Like
they were making some good educated guesses for their time, but
yeah, he's a smart guy, but he was probably making shit up about Atlantis. Who knows?
Bro didn't have Google Maps. Come on.
And the highway to hell theory is literally it was a sentence that was like Christians think that it could be a portal to hell.
Well, that man just got raptured down to hell.
And that was similar to people say that there's a underwater Area 51 there, like the U.S. government has a Area 51, but I think that's a chicken and the egg thing because I think people want to say the phenomena is caused by underwater Area 51, but doesn't it make more sense that they would be studying the phenomena? Like it wouldn't be they wouldn't be causing it. They would have a research station to look at it. Like I don't. I didn't include it. Like a government, reason, but it's also there's no information about it.
There's a government facility that's causing this effect, and then immediately next to it, there's another government facility that's like investigating the other one. Like, how is this happening? What's it doing?
What you're saying in Stranger Things, there's the Hawkins lab, and then there's the Hawkins Memorial Lab,
where they're studying the Hawkins lab. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that is conspiracy theories about the Bermuda Triangle. You're 1 for 2.
Let's go.
You got pretty good on this one. So, Theo, let's see if you have any more let's see if I have any conspiracy theories about where your next segment is. I think it's gonna be about dogs.
No, but I'm still gonna take you there.
Okay. Oh,
This
yeah, you're
is
still
an
gonna
in
take
the
me down.
news collection. I've got a few short articles for you. Few interesting headlines. This first one comes to us from the BBC. Australian woman charged with stealing van carrying 10,000 donuts. We got 10,000 donuts. This woman really wanted them.
That headline was a nail biter to literally the last sentence because I did not know what
Carrying
10,000 of what,
10,000?
my friend.
What?
10,000 donuts.
Donuts.
I'm sorry. Is she Homer Simpson? Why is she doing this heist?
Specifically, 10,000 Krispy Kreme donuts. The van went missing from a petrol station in a Sydney suburb in the early hours of 29th of November. This came from a while back. Police found the vehicle abandoned a week later, along with thousands of spoiled donuts at a car park. They arrested the woman, 28, on Thursday. She was refused bail and faces charges including vehicle theft and driving while disqualified. I guess maybe license revoked. The CCTV footage. Yeah, go ahead.
She did a bad arm bar. So they can't have her drive it anymore. She's a danger to everybody, including other wrestlers.
Yeah, she got 2 technicals and was actually supposed to not be playing for the rest of the game.
You're disqualified. Give me a license. And the referee pulls out scissors and cuts it in half.
The worst part, it is unclear if she knew that the van contained 10,000 donuts because they found it full of spoiled donuts. She just needed a ride, and so she stole this van. And
wait, what?
Meaning that
that's even wilder.
The donuts were just innocent bystanders. 10,000 innocent bystanders got caught up in this.
I'm gobsmacked that it was for like I gotta get to work. Like it was Grand Theft Auto once again, like a movie character. Like I need this car, and didn't even think about that it was like a Krispy Kreme. Because I thought it was a big fat lady that wanted Krispy Kremes.
You'd think saw the from the headline, right? Yes,
that's what I thought. But the fact that's even and then just kind of dropped it off. Like did she park it? Because this is
a gas station.
Only a slightly more heightened version of this is if somebody stole the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile and then
didn't
was
bother
like,
to check.
Yeah, didn't bother. Like it was like, I just need a ride. Like,
this criminal stole an ice cream truck and ate none of the ice cream.
It's all melted ice cream. They turned off the freezer. Like they went out of their weight.
Krispy Kreme reported the incident to the police and reassured customers then that it was, quote, working to replace the 10,000 stolen donuts. Don't worry.
We're pumping them out. Listen, we're working on all cylinders right now.
This is a 5-alarm fire.
I like imagining that the CEO is like the mayor of Halloween Town and he has like a big megaphone. He's just like, everybody, there's no more donuts right now, but we're getting them. We're getting some more. Don't worry.
There's like a group picketing outside and they're like, when do we want 10,000 donuts?
Right now.
We want them now.
Put me in the glazing machine. That's the only way I'll be happy.
All right, you're a pervert. Get out of here.
Come on, get out of here.
Get out of here. All right, next headline. This is from also from the BBC. Woman who assaulted Chipotle worker sentenced to fast food job for 2 months. Wonderful Seinfeld episode.
I am going to say that this is kind of the justice that we need in this world.
This is great.
I'm actually fully on board before I even heard the article, and I know I'm going to regret that before hearing any details.
An Ohio woman who was convicted of assault for hurling a burrito bowl at a Chipotle worker was offered an unusual way to reduce her jail time. A judge has ordered Rosemary Hain, 39, must now work a fast food job for 2 months. Hain was captured in a viral video screaming at a Chipotle employee before throwing her food in the worker's face. At first, she was slated to pay a fine and serve 180 days in jail, with 90 days suspended. But then the judge had another idea. Quote, "You didn't like your burrito bowl the way you like it, and this is how you responded?" Judge Timothy Gilligan. Judge Timothy Gilligan.
This is Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. It's like,
you will address me about Judge Gilligan.
Captain, should we let him off? No, Gilligan.
I do declare this boat will stay the course. Told Hain after her sentencing in Parma, Ohio. "This is not the Real Housewives of Parma. This behavior is not acceptable," he said, according to local Fox affiliate WJW. Judge Gilligan told Hain she could cut off 60 days in jail if she agreed to work at least 20 hours per week in a fast food restaurant for 2 months, and she accepted.
Not bad. Yeah.
The incident on 5th of September was captured by a bystander who posted the video to Reddit, where it went viral. She tried to apologize in court and explain her rationale. If I showed you how my food looked and how my food looked a week later in that same restaurant, it's disgusting looking, Haynes said, according to WJW. I bet you won't be happy with the food if you're going to get in jail. Oh, I bet you won't be happy with the food. You are going to get in jail, said Gulligan.
Get in jail. You're going to have bad food. You're not going to get burrito bowls in jail. I love when judges clap back. I think that's always fun. They're having a little bit of fun with it.
Very good, very good. All right,
Easy,
final.
I gotta say, that's what I want to hear, because that is like literally because in this country we are more about retributive justice than actual rehabilitation.
Yeah,
and this is like showing people
this have some empathy. This is an empathy
have
moment.
Some empathy, and especially for like a small crime like that, it's like, yeah, she did assault, but make it better.
Right,
like make the food yourself then.
Last headline. This one comes to us from whiskeyriff.com, which I can't speak to the reputability, but here we are. Zamboni driver fired for peeing in a drain, sues the Detroit Red Wings over his termination.
Wait, whoa, wait. That's so much. Okay. Peeing in a drain. Then he Zambonied it, and then the entire ice field became a nice yellow.
I just wanted to see how far it would go.
The spear? Yeah, gross. It would freeze immediately.
I have to say that they have a photo of this man Zamboniing, and he looks he looks bored out of his fucking gourd on this Zamboni. He looks so... He looks like a sad...
this man is the only man that's ever allowed to ride a Zamboni.
That's right.
Because he has a mustache. He looks like Wilford Brimley. Like, that's perfect. And he has... Oh, I like his kicks, though.
Yeah, he's having a good time here. So, article goes, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Unfortunately for a Zamboni driver for the Detroit Red Wings, he had to go in the garage while he was on the job resurfacing the ice for the team. So instead of going to the bathroom, he just decided to pee in a drain between two Zambonis. 70-year-old Al Sabotica was a Zamboni driver for the Red Wings for 51 years, starting when he was just 17 years old. And over the years, Sabotica was a fixture at NHL games at Little Caesars Arena, being known for spinning an octopus over his head after it was thrown onto the ice by fans. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like an icon. 51 years!
51 years. Why would you get... That is... This is throwing the book at a man that does not need the book thrown at him.
Man is peeing between two Zambonis.
Who saw him? Do they?
So it says in February 2022, Sabotica was caught by a fellow employee taking a leak into the drain in the garage and was fired soon thereafter. Sabotica even wrote the president and CEO of the Red Wings, Christopher Ilitch, to ask the team to spare his job. Quote, Chris, I'm sure you've heard that I was terminated. I don't think I deserve it. After 50 seasons of hard work, countless hours, holidays, missing out with the family, I hope you had it in your heart for another chance. It's true that this guy... I mean, if he was Zamboni driver for all of the games, he probably was working holidays. Like,
yeah, this is,
it's like,
there are sometimes, I feel like there are certain things in certain jobs that we take for granted or only have in the idea of that job. Cause like this man, they're tenured professors. This man is super tenured.
It also sounds like he really
I don't know why anything will
hurt anybody.
No, he didn't hurt anyone. I think this is an overzealous, like, PR or HR person that doesn't give a shit. Like I think there's a bunch of people that are like, well, this is how corporations work, so just get rid of him. When it's like, with this man, you got to show a little bit of leniency.
We're all humans.
Yeah, because there's articles now. We're reading an article written about how he got fired, which would not happen at like the local ice rink. Like if this happened, this man is a legend.
So when his letter to the CEO didn't work, he decided to go a different route and he sued the team. In his lawsuit, Sabotica claims that the employees of the Red Wings parent company, Olympia Entertainment, engaged in a cover-up to fire him based on his age and his disability. Sabotica says the peeing incident was the result of benign prostatic hyperplasia, a condition that makes it difficult to regulate urination. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like the Red Wings have any intention of giving Sabotica his job back anytime soon, but he remains adamant that he didn't deserve to be fired. They all know I was done wrong.
I agree with him. I don't think he has necessarily any leg to stand on necessarily. Like from a
it's kind of just like an everybody.
perspective.
It's like just a shitty situation in general.
Yeah, it is like, should he not have been doing that? Sure, but it's also like nobody's around. Like it was literally like by another employee. It wasn't like a guest saw him. I don't know. It's applying standards to a guy that it's like he's family for that company.
Crazy.
Like I don't know. It is a time for a company to actually follow through with the idea of we're just like family here. Like, because you got to give some leeway to people once in a while.
And listen, if your 70-year-old uncle pees on the couch every once in a while, that's we're all family here, all right? Just a little pee on the couch. Just a little pee on the couch.
This is your uncle who vacuumed every single day that he came over, and then he accidentally peed in the sink one time. You're gonna fire him? You're gonna fire him for that? You gonna kill him? No, I don't think so. You're gonna get rid of him from the family? No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh. But you know what I hope we don't get rid of? Your next segment.
Well, Thea, we are getting to the end of the program, but I did have a little quick thing that I wanted to bring up to you. And it's just a little, it's from r/confessions.
Okay, So I love a good confession.
The subreddit for confessions on the internet. And this one is, it makes me laugh because it is something I could absolutely see myself doing. And probably have done at some point. But I'm going to the ask for you, Theo, is one to for your company. I always love your company. And two, how bad is the thing that this person is confessing to?
Okay.
The title of the post is, I like to creep around my house and act like a goblin.
Okay. This is not that offensive. It's your own home.
Immediately on first blush, immediately.
It's not that offensive to me. It's your house. You do whatever. You act like a freak in your own house. That's the space for it. That's why you have a house.
I don't know why I enjoy doing this. Maybe it's my way of dealing with stress or something, but I just do it about once every week. Generally, I'll carry around a sack and creep around.
All right, listen, I said it up front. You can be a freak in your own house. All right, I said it.
Yeah. I like to carry a sack and creep around in a sort of crouch walking position, making goblin noises. Then I'll walk around my house and pick up various different trinkets and put them into my bag while saying stuff like, I'll be having that, and laughing maniacally in my goblin voice.
I'll be having that.
I'll be having that. And then in parentheses, trinkets can include anything from shit I find in the ground to cutlery or other utensils. So that kind of paints a little portrait.
Okay, it's not like, he's not putting the TV in a bag. Like,
Yeah, it's not big. It's just a little bag with a bunch of forks and stuff in it.
Now, I wonder what kind of bag it is. It's like a CVS bag. Like, what kind of bag are we talking here?
I want a burlap sack.
I was imagining a burlap sack, but then I was thinking to myself, I don't know a single soul who owns a burlap sack. So
yeah, we are in the land of imagination already, where this person is like walking around just grabbing trinkets, which is like goblin looter, like after the party's already done, where it's just like, a fork. Oh, I'll be taking that thing.
That's a nice one. I like that one.
The fortune they left behind. So this is where the problem comes in. The other day, I was talking with my neighbors, and they mentioned hearing weird noises, like what I wrote about, and I was just internally screaming the entire conversation.
It's just standing there, and you're like, that sounds so weird. Huh, I haven't heard that. Huh.
I heard somebody saying something about little trinkets, and I think they said something. It sounded like, I'll be having that.
Huh,
Do you know what that is?
Heard that. No, that's so. I was actually out of town last weekend. That's so weird.
We heard you. We heard you walking around.
Oh, it's so weird. For the very specific time that you heard that, I was out of town. So
you're out of town for that.
Yeah, out of town.
Because it was like, it was only for a little bit. So you're out of town for like that hour?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
wow.
Wow. I am 99% sure.
This is an I think you should leave sketch. This whole scenario.
It absolutely is. I'm 99% sure they don't know it's me. But God, that 1% chance is really seriously weighing on my mind.
That's so good.
Theo,
you can never come clean. You can never come clean.
Absolutely not.
There's no way to explain this. You don't even know yourself. It's clear that you don't even know yourself why you do this. So how are you supposed to explain to somebody else?
I will say that as somebody who works from home, who has been trapped, quote unquote trapped in his apartment for the last few years, I do wild stuff. I don't go ever this wild. This is like full role play. Like you have to. There's like Carrot Top-esque. Like
you're right. That
props being used.
The only way I can think to explain this is you're right. We're in the world of imagination. And what does that mean? It means that you need to be doing this on behalf of a child. My little nephew is over, and he likes to play this game we call Goblin.
Now we're getting into real advice of this that you
That's
should
the
tell
only
them
way that I
playing.
think we were playing Goblin. It's this game and then you explain the game, and it's like, oh, that's a fun little game for your nephew. And then you don't tell them that that's the dirty secret then, that there is no nephew. You're not living a lie in that you're lying to them about being a goblin. You're lying to them about a nephew.
Yeah, I think that's a better, as somebody, I wouldn't say I'm good at lies, but I understand what makes a good lie. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty good lie because there's very little they could do to fact check it. Yeah,
how are they going to, unless they like try to you get to know them really well and they want to meet this little child that plays Goblin, but that's such a far stretch.
Or they do like a TV movie character thing where they're like, where you say like, oh yeah, I don't have any nephews or anything. Oh, I thought your nephew was doing the Goblin voices.
Like, caught in your own lie.
Yeah, I don't think is it? I've never thought about any details of anyone else's life to that level that I would be able to catch them in a lie. So I don't think that's a problem. But just I will sign off on them doing this because it is. I've made jokes of being a goblin to like friends and stuff. I've never by myself. I've like talked to myself in my home.
Sure.
I've like worked through thoughts. I've never, and now
you
I'm
never role played
on a
sneaky
podcast.
Sack.
I'm going to do some physical comedy just for Theo, because it is. Just imagine, just like
hunched over, bopping around.
And then you walk up to my phone and I'm just like, oh, it's this. That's a nice rectangle. So shiny and good. Like, and then I put it in my sack. I put it in my
sack.
I think this would definitely be a different. This person's not going to be caught for it. I'm going to say, for the confession part, I think they're good. This would be leagues different if it was a roommate.
If your roommate caught you, this would be you have to come clean. You have to be like, I'm a freak. I'm a freak.
You would have to say,
your roommate has to know that I'm a freak.
I like to pretend I'm because that's another part of lying is I think that you need to, if you are caught completely, it is better to come clean because then people think you are truthful. Like, and will come clean at different points. Like, so I think you would have to at that point.
Especially because it's so odd that you need,
so weird.
If it was a roommate, you need them to feel safe in their own home, and you need to come clean and explain that what you are doing, while weird, is harmless.
Yeah, it is complete. That is another part of this. That is why it's so much fun and so funny.
It's not hurting
because it's harmless and it's funny.
It's you're stealing your own things for your own delight.
That's another aspect. If you were in public or like did this while people weren't looking, that would be mental illness.
That would be right.
This is bits.
Well, it still might be mental illness. Let's not rule it
out. It might actually still be a mental illness, but I'm more okay with it. But anyway. We've gotten to the end of the podcast, Theo. Could you believe it?
I can believe it.
Yeah, that's how time works.
Yeah.
But we still want to thank our loving, adoring audience for making it to the end with us.
We'd like to thank you for being so adoring, for adoring us. It's really nice of you.
Thank you for thanking us with your adoration. And if you'd like to adore us more, send us this email at segmentcitypodcast@gmail.com. Head up our Twitter, Segment City, or YouTube is Segment City, and leave us ratings, leave us star reviews. We love to see them. Love to read them on your podcast network of choice, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, any of those. And we got to give a big thank you to somebody in particular.
That'd be a thank you to Rachel Robison. She does our intro music, and she has new music you can find streaming around the globe. And some say, you already know what I'm going to say, some say that she's a little goblin. She's sneaking around. She's finding these nice delights. She's taking them for myself. That's nice, isn't it?
I would absolutely pay real money to hear whatever Rachel's goblin voice would be.
Rachel, message us, please.
Because she's very sweet and very she could be very laughy. So I'm imagining that she would go, hello, Dad. Just make herself laugh, and then that would be the end of the voice message.
That would be the end of it.
Yeah, but the way that we end this podcast is one of two ways, and we're going to pick the list of unusual deaths as the way to wrap up this segment, or this episode, I should say. This is a big one. This is Frederick, Prince of Wales.
Wait a minute. That's a place I've heard of.
Yeah, that's Prince of Wales is the title for I think Prince Harry is. I forget which one of the two of them is Prince of Wales. Oh no, Prince of Wales is I think next in line.
Okay.
Anyway, so but he's part of the royal family. He died in March 31st, 1751. The son of George II of Great Britain and father of George III died of a pulmonary embolism, but was commonly claimed to have been killed by being struck by a cricket ball.
Oh man,
that's a rough.
That's brutal. That's a brutal way to go. The dude was next in line for the Empire, and he got hit by a cricket ball, and everyone's like, "You weenie!"
Yeah. Did you hear that Frederick died by getting hit in the nads with a fucking cricket ball? Oh, crazy!
Crazy. Also, what a come up if you're second in line for the throne. And you're like, wait, you're telling me the first in line just died in a cricket match? This is some Game of Thrones lucky day shit.
Oh, absolutely. I thought, or there's some assassins who are really working on their aim with the cricket bat. They're really getting it.
I've got a very particular set of skills.
Listen.
I only got one thing, all right? I don't do knives. I don't do guns.
What do you think about very flat board bats? What do you think about that? What do you think about the... Listen, I'm a baseball player. What do you want me to hit through these hoops? What is this? I don't even understand this.
This is not my skill set. I don't know what to do here.
Do you understand? I'm going to end this with a ask to the audience. If anybody understands the rules of cricket, can you summarize them in an email to us? Send it to segmentcitypodcast@gmail.com because I don't know how cricket works, and I've tried to look it up, and it's
a cricket
hard.
for dummies guide, please.
But yeah, send that to us, and that's it.